You know, I opened the show talking about moving nightmares, and there are a lot of nightmares when it comes to moving. But of course, one of the people I had as my experts at the beginning of the show will have come back and talk about their company, because as you know, some of the show is featuring sponsors. And this sponsor, Buehler, has been around for a long time. Buehler Moving and Storage. Stuart Smith is here with us. And Stuart, Buehler, we talked about what to look for in a mover. Let's talk about Buehler. In business for more than 100 years.
Right at 100 years next year.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And then what else? You got an affiliation with Van Lines.
Yep. We represent Mayflower, and we also represent United Van Lines.
Okay. Let's talk about how to choose a mover. What else would you say?
Well, I mean, one of the things, as we talked about earlier, is, I mean, I feel it's very important to look at a company that's affiliated with a van line, because anyone that's associated today with a van line has to do background checks on their employees. So the people that we send out to your house are background checked. Our guys aren't going to be having, you know, they're not going to look like they just came out of jail.
No, I understand that. And they're just not, you know, you don't pick them up that morning.
No, we don't use temps.
Okay.
Yeah, do not use temps. And our guys are in uniform. And when someone shows up in uniform and they're trained, there's a more professional attitude that goes on. And most of the time we're dealing with the woman of the house.
Yes.
The woman is nervous anyway.
The woman of the house usually engineers the move.
Yes.
Okay.
She's nervous anyway. She's got these guys in her house that are big burly guys, or sometimes little guys that are good, and she doesn't know them, and they're moving.
So you background check all of the people sent out.
Every single person.
Let's talk about, you have competitive local rates. You pack and load.
Yes.
You also have do-it-yourself containers.
We do do-it-yourself containers. They're called United Mayflower Container Systems.
How do you do them?
We deliver them with a truck. We'll do it two different ways. We have a truck that delivers the container.
Then people fill them up?
People fill them up, or we'll load it for you.
Okay.
When you're ready for us to move it, we'll take it to where you want it to go. If you want to put it in storage, we'll bring it back to our warehouse. We can store it in the yard if you want outside storage for a lower price, or we'll put it inside the warehouse. It costs a little bit more, but it's a
weather controlled warehouse, climate controlled. Okay, let's talk about, you have some other services that I've never heard of, like you can do the computers and the low voltage stuff, disconnect and reconnect.
Yes, we do. It's called on-point services. So we go through Geek Squad,
right? And
our prices are cheaper than what you can get on the street. And so they'll come out and set up your computers. They'll set up televisions, flat screen TVs.
Oh,
they'll wire
so they take care of all of your...
They'll do anything you want from soup to nuts as far as setting up your house that way.
In fact, taking it off the old house and putting it on the new?
Yes.
Okay. And you do international moving as well?
Absolutely.
So you have affiliations around the world?
Yes, we're affiliated with movers around the world. We go anywhere that you need to go in the world. And loading a container for international shipment is totally different than loading it for a local or a interstate shipment.
Now, Buehler Mayflower here, and also you're with United, right?
Yes.
Now, I noticed a lot of the things that you're carrying out there were heavily padded. Is this automatic, or is that an upcharge? How is that?
That's automatic. We pad everything in the house before it comes out. That way it's padded when it gets to the truck. The things are padded when they leave the inside of the house so that we don't ding the walls. We also pad the stairways, and we do complete house protection when we go in.
Now, when people say, I'm going to get an estimate, and they go with the lowest estimate, your estimate might be higher than somebody who's lying to them.
It could be.
Yeah.
Typically, we find that we're not higher than a lot of the local companies, because the marketplace is so competitive today, that there's price constraints that we have to stay within.
But the point I'm making is, when you have real employees, when you have background checking, when you have a real business, in other words, not an internet presence or not a scam, you may appear, and I said this before, the lowest bid isn't always the best bid.
Absolutely
because
not.
It turns out to be the highest price you'll pay. Your prices are pretty much within what you tell them it's going to be, because here we have an estimating process going on, right?
Yes.
And I noticed you don't give phone estimates.
No, we don't. I mean, we'll give you a round estimate, but we say...
You mean for hourly rates and stuff, but you can't...
So we want to come out and we want to look at your house, because there's always things that people say, well, I only have a couple couches and a bed, and then you go out and there's all kinds of things.
So you go with the homeowner room by room, you price it accurately, You give them an estimate, and you say it's usually within 10%, because we've heard nightmares where the estimate is, not the estimate, the actual charges turn out to be double or triple.
Yes.
And you also can sell valuation. So if people want protection, they can do that. And of course, you can also look at your homeowner's insurance. Now, you also do something else that you don't see in the business, continuing education. What is that all about?
Well, through Unigroup, what Unigroup owns, Mayflower and United, we have Unigroup University. And we have all our employees are quarterly take a test on Unigroup University of their choice.
So they have to be up on what? What is there to learn?
Well, we talk, they can learn about mortgage purchasing, buying a house. We want our people to be knowledgeable first. So if you're in the sales position, understanding what people go through when they're buying a house.
Okay, so in other words, knowing what people are going through not only in the move, but in their lives.
Yes.
And so you're familiar with the different transitions, starting new jobs and things like that?
Yep.
And what about this then? I want to make sure we talk about this. You have one person that's designated to do nothing but quality control.
Yes. He's our full-time quality control person. He goes out and checks on moves.
To make sure everything...
Make sure things are going well. Make sure the customer's happy with what's going on. If there is a problem, we attempt to fix it right then.
And full-time maintenance mechanics for their trucks to keep them in top shape, because that's important. There have been cases where trucks break down. It's a nightmare, or worse, they catch on fire. These guys maintain their own fleet. Now, they have some special offers for Martino TV viewers. Get 10% off a local move. And by the way, that's a true 10% off on already honest, low price. 10% off. Buehler Moving and Storage. All right, now, just mention Martino.tv. Buehler Moving and Storage, 303-388-4000. 303-388-4000. Buehler, you'll see how it's spelled there, B-U-E-H-L-E-R. BuehlerCompanies.com. BuehlerCompanies.com.